Good morning, everybody. This is Kevin D with My Adventures by Kevin D. I am currently on the road driving to Alabama.
There's a crash on I-65 South before exit 32 that is causing a delay. You can avoid it by going via US 43 South, which saves 12 minutes.
Okay, I guess I'll be taking a detour. Usually detours on the interstate are never that great, but we'll see. Anyways, I wanted to share a story with you from back in my younger days and being in the Army. I think I was an E3 or an E4 back then. For those that aren't in the military, that was a private first class or a specialist. I was on my way in my light mobile tactical vehicle with my clerk at the time. I don't know if he was my clerk. I can't remember. I think he was my armorer, Adam. And we was going out to a range to pick up a team that had been out there training. Well, during the summertime, the Army always hosts ROTC cadets. And my unit was tasked with a couple of ROTC cadets. Well, this one team had an ROTC cadet attached to them while they was going through some live fire walkthrough training. No live rounds or anything like that. It was just teaching how to do it, the scenarios. Me being a supply sergeant, I usually wasn't a part of that. I would take them food and water and whatever else they needed out there on a every other day basis. And then I'd drop them off originally, and then I was picking them back up in the troop carrier. So when I got out there to the range, it was way out in the backside of Fort Campbell. Way out there. It took almost an hour by LMTV to get out there. I remember as I got there, the team leader was ground guiding me in. If you don't know what a ground guide is, it's somebody that helps you back up the big military vehicles because they are hard to see behind. Even with mirrors, they can be a pain in the butt. So he was backing me up, and he got to a certain point, told me to stop. I went to get out of the vehicle. He said, stay in the vehicle. He didn't need me getting out. My clerk was getting out, and he told the clerk to stay in the vehicle. Me and the clerk were like, dang, we've been driving for like an hour. We can't get out and stretch our legs. But, you know, back then we did what the staff sergeant told us to do. So he asked me, he said, hey, where's the CGU-1 Bravo at? And I was like, what the hell does he need a CGU-1 Bravo for? And if you don't know what CGU-1 Bravo is, it is a ratchet strap. The ratchet strap kind of just, it's made for cargo basically. It's probably about 2 to 4 inches in width and maybe a 1/4 inch thick, and it's just a ratchet strap that you see on the back of semis holding down cargo. Nothing serious, it's just something that everybody uses. So anyways, I told him where it was at. He got it out. I seen him back there fiddling around, doing whatever he was doing in the back. He came up to the cab of the truck. He told my clerk to get in the middle seat. My clerk got in the middle seat, and I seen the team guys get in the back, and he said, okay, we can go now, but just go slow. So I started giving a little bit of gas. He's like, I said slow. So I was like, okay, what the hell is going on? I didn't say anything because getting smoked back then, if you disrespected the team leader, well, especially the staff sergeant, you got on their nerves, they'd smoke the crap out of you. And being smoked in the military back then consisted of anything from doing push-ups, sit-ups, running in place, jumping jacks, you name it. Wherever they could think of for as long as they wanted to until they got tired of messing with you. So I just did what I was told, and I just let the vehicle idle. Well, an LMTV doesn't idle that fast. It idles pretty slow actually, and so I was going slow. I just figured the guys in the back were getting settled in or something, because he was looking back pretty hard. He was leaning out the door, and then he told me, he's like, give it a little bit of gas. So I gave it a little bit of gas. We might have went about 100 to 150 yards at this point, and then he said, okay, gun it. So I stepped on the gas. When you gun an LMTV, it just makes a lot of noise, and it picks up maybe a mile or two an hour every 5 seconds. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head. This was an older vehicle back in the day. It was when the LMTVs were first issued to the military, but I gunned it, and we went about another 20 feet, 30 feet. He's like, okay, stop. So when I stopped, he said, push out your mirror. Because originally he came over to my side of the vehicle and he pushed in my side mirror. And I didn't know what he was doing. I just did what I was told. The different Army back then. So I pushed out my mirror. He's like, okay, can you see back there? I was like, yeah. And I looked back there, and I seen my CGU-1 Bravo on the ground, and I seen this guy standing in the middle of the road, and I seen a porta-john latrine basically it was pulled into two, and the top part of it was laying on the road. The bottom part was hooked up to the CGU-1 Bravo. And I was like, what the heck? And I seen this guy standing there, and he was just covered in blue dye. He had pee and poop all up and down his body. And I was like, what is going on? I stopped the vehicle, and the team lead, the staff sergeant, said, no, keep going. So I was like, oh my God, I'm going to jail. I've hurt somebody. I didn't know what was going on. All this stuff was going through my head at the time. I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to speak up. I should have and said, hey, we need to stop and help this guy out, but I was just like, screw it. You know, the team leader knows what he's doing. So we got another 50, 60 feet up the road. He stopped. He told me to stop. He got out, unhooked the Porta John from the CGU-1 Bravo, put that away, and I seen the guy just keep on walking. Him and the guy kind of yelled at each other a little bit, and he come back in the vehicle, got in the vehicle, shut the door, had his hands hanging out the window because they had poop on them. And he's like, okay, let's go. So he used his 1 quart canteen, washed off his hands. Meanwhile, I see this guy just standing in the road, just staring at us with his hands waving, yelling and screaming.
In 2 miles,
as he was
use
covered
the right
in
2 lanes
pee
to
and
take
poop.
exit 53 for Tennessee 396
And I'm
Saturn
like,
Parkway
oh my
toward
God,
Columbia,
you've got to be
Spring
kidding
Hill.
me. Sorry about that. I'm driving, of course. And all these things were going through my head. My clerk, he was just laughing his butt off. And then the team leader looked at me, he was like, we're not going to speak of this ever. I was like, Roger. So we got to the rear, we got back to the unit. The guys unloaded the vehicle. I finally got the chance to ask the guys what had happened, and they told me that ROTC cadet would not stop running his mouth the whole time they were out there in the training exercise. He just kept yelling. You know, he thought he was in charge. He finally pissed off the team leader to the point where the team leader had enough of it, and the team leader wanted to put his hands on the guy, but he thought better of it because the kid might tell on him. But instead, he put him in the Porta John and drug him down the road. So, yeah, that actually happened back in the day. That was a long time ago. Real long time ago. But anyways, I will let you go. And until next time, I hope you enjoyed the story. If you like what I shared with you, please like and subscribe. And I look forward to another good old Army story. Talk to you later. Bye.